welcome to Scorched Earth. This is going to be a general reading for the sign of Taurus. Sun, Moon and Ascendant. If you don't know what your Moon and Ascendant signs are, have a look in the description box below. There's a link down there that will help you. I do personal readings, but I am working on a backlog at the moment, so if you want to contact me by email, that's down in the description box as well, but please do be patient. It might be a week or so before I get back to you because I have quite a few to get through. So other than that, thank you for your messages and your comments and your likes and your subscribes and everything. I really do appreciate it, and your donations, my God, thank you so much. You mean the world to me. And Taurus, you've been my staunchest supporters for the last few months, and I really appreciate that. So know that I love each and every one of you. Fuck. To say that the Queen of Wands just drops out, and that's me, so take that as a symbol of my appreciation. Right, what else to tell you? We've got a Mercury retrograde coming up. I can't remember quite the date off the top of my head, but it is in February. 19th or something like that. I might have just made that up. I'll have to go and have a look. But it is incoming. Don't let... there's you, Taurus, just dropped out. Hierophant. Don't let it worry you. It's fine. It's not going to be as intense as the one that happened in Scorpio, because, I mean, Scorpio, intense. It's an opportunity to deal with things that have not been dealt with properly yet. So people may resurface, emotions may resurface, situations may resurface. It just gives you an opportunity to close them out properly, or even sometimes see how far you've come, because, you know, something comes back at you and you go, no, thank you, I'm fine. And that's the right way to do it. Just don't start anything new, right, until the shadow period has gone as well, which is about 2 weeks after the retrograde has finished. There's nothing to worry about. So, with all of that said, and me just throwing cards around, and here I am again, the sun. Let's get you some cards. Could I please have 3 cards for Taurus for the month of February? Whoa. Right, I'm going to take those 2 together because they flipped out together. We've got the 6 of Pentacles and Death. And Death is, that's actually that way around, like that. 6 of Pentacles is earth energy, like you, and Death is the card of Scorpio. Oh, odd, but I should have just mentioned them, and here they are. It's card number 13 of the Major Arcana. It talks about endings. Interesting. Have another card for Taurus, please, for February. What's Taurus doing right now? Well, we've got the 9 of Wands for your current energy. Okie dokie. And what's coming towards Taurus at the end of February? Knight of Cups. Hello. Nice. Right. Those down there. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Queen of Cups. Okay. Let's have a look, see which deck I want to use as a clarifier. Oh, getting the John Bower today. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. I'm actually going to do a flick through. I'm going to start a series of flick through videos because I've got loads of really obscure decks that I love, and they just don't have the exposure that they should do because they're so absolutely beautiful. So if you're a bit of a tarot nerd, keep an eye out for that because they'll be coming soon. Right, let's have a look at this here. 6 of Pentacles and Death here for Taurus, please. Got the 2 of Pentacles right there, more earth energy. the Queen of Cups has tried to flip again. I'm just going to show you that. I'm going to put it back in because it didn't jump. 6 of Pentacles and Death for Taurus, please. Finally here. There it is. Oh, shush now. Come on. 6 of Pentacles and Death. Oh. 10 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. That's 2 cards of endings right there. I like that. There's a 9 of Wands here, please. Taurus. Energy. And go quiet on me, Taurus. We've got the King of Cups. And the Ace of Pentacles. Lovely. I'm going to stop smirking in a minute. I'm just really pleased because this looks very positive. There's the Knight of Cups here, please, for Taurus. There's the Knight of Cups here for Taurus. Got the 8 of Cups. There's a lot of water down here. The Knight of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. The bottom of the deck we have Judgment. There's another card of Scorpio right there. Whew. Right then. So, first 2 cards that jumped out together. The 6 of Pentacles and Death. Right? 6 of Pentacles is earth energy. Right there. Take these one at a time actually, and then we'll put them together. And this talks about rebalancing, right? Can sometimes talk about charity, but we've got one main crow right here, some scales, yeah, and it's got a fish that's giving out to the poor right there. And there's a sense in this card of you balancing something out internally. I'm not particularly drawn to the fact that it's pentacles in so much as it's resources or anything like that, because it's for you, because you're Taurus, because you're an earth sign. I feel like this is a broader energetic balancing out. And you've balanced it out by ending something, right? It might be a Scorpio, but I don't feel like it is because of the reflection, almost. Like the position of these 2 crows in the middle is almost identical. Like that one there and that one there. It feels like you've let something go because this crow's dead, right? And that's its spirit hovering off there. And it's just like this one here. The rebalancing of you has occurred by letting something go. Now, what have you let go? This. 2 of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords, and the 5 of Wands, right? The 2 of Pentacles talks about balancing again, right? Actually. But it's a balancing of the internal because it's 2. Right? It's all about the internal thing. Usually it's got, a big emotional scene because there's lots of water on the card and there's somebody who's looking really quite, well, somewhere between panicked and stricken, I would say. Trying to balance these 2 pentacles, well, there's lots of stuff going on in the background. There isn't a sense of that in this card. This is a much more gentle depiction of the 2 of Pentacles right there. And I feel like you are this blonde figure on the left, right here. She seems to be holding some eyeglasses and she's looking at these 2 hooded figures. And there's a sense that you've kind of gone within and you've looked at things. You've looked at your dark hooded figures within and you've gone, I don't think my life is about you anymore. Like, I think I'm going to let you go. There's bluebells all over the floor. Interesting fact about bluebells, right? I've just got info dump on you here. Bluebells will only grow in ground that has been undisturbed for 20 years plus. I'm sure it's something like that. All over the bottom of that card, right there. This is old stuff. I think that these 2 figures here are old wounds, old thought patterns, old things that maybe you have spent a long time struggling with. And somehow, some way, you have managed to let them go. You've let them die, right? And it's soaring off right there. And in doing so, you balanced yourself out and created this very peaceful space right here, right? And then we've got these two cards here, the Ten of Swords and the Five of Wands. Now, the Ten of Swords is usually a really, really painful scene, right? In just about every deck that I have, it's somebody in some position of great discomfort, speared by 10 swords, and we don't get that on this card. We have got a rainbow and another crow. Look at that, sailing off into the distance. It's totally different decks, right? You found your peace, you found your harmony. Whatever this is, and this usually indicates great betrayal and hurt, often at the hands of another, to be honest. It's hitting rock bottom. And usually the point at which you hit rock bottom, that's the scene that's depicted, right? Sometimes the face is turned towards the coming dawn and stuff, but it's always a very visceral, very painful scene. Here, it looks like the point where you've got back up again and gone, no, I'm not dead. The only way now is up. And here's the symbol, this rainbow right here. And then we've got the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands talks about conflict, it talks about change. It can sometimes talk about competition. You know, this dude here is in the middle of the woods in the snow, and he's being harangued by 5 wolves. And immediately I'm thinking of the allegory about the 2 wolves inside you, which one grows, the one that you feed. Well, this one's got 5 wolves, right? So maybe you've had a bit more going on internally that has been difficult than most people. But the beautiful fact is that at some point in the recent past, you have let all of this go and you've internally balanced yourself. That is wonderful. I love it. I really like it. And then we've got the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands is a card of Sagittarius, actually. It's fire energy. And it usually indicates... It's usually depicted with a chap who's just looking completely fucked up. He's all bandaged and he's got a very hunted look on his face. He knows he's got to fight again. Okay? But again, we've got an entirely much more peaceful kind of depiction here. Oh, we leaf blowing in the wind, and we've got some fluffy clouds and that sun up there in the corner, right? Just there. Flowers around these wands. And then this crow at the bottom. He's very delicately picking up this last wand, right? But it doesn't seem aggressive. It doesn't look like he's going to fight with it. It just looks like he's going to pop it in that space right there. And this feels like boundaries. Like, in letting all of these things go, right, in refusing to feed these wolves, in getting up again after being stabbed repeatedly, after balancing things out and getting shot of these 2 figures here, it seems like you now understand the importance of boundaries. You understand how to make them happen. And you understand that not only do they protect you, but they enable you to have fulfilling relationships with other people that do not cost more than you receive, right? It's about a fair and equal exchange of energy in a partnership. And I'm going down the road of partnership already because we've got the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck right here, and we've got the King of Cups underneath this card. You know, the Sun is the most positive card in the deck in the tarot, right? It's just childlike glee at things. But it's about being unspoiled by those things that really hurt us and make us really jaded as we become adults. And here it is, looking out over this scene. I cannot help but feel that this is super, super positive. And then what we've got underneath is the King of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, right? So now we have a pair. We have an emotionally mature emotionally available, open, receptive pair of people who understand that their emotions are important but aren't clashing over them all of the time. And then we've got the Ace of Pentacles, which is your ace right there, right? That's a solid new start in something, right? It's something that you can see in the 3D. It's something that you can perceive with your 5 senses. And this is where you're at the moment, you know. I seem to recall you had Sagittarius wandering all over your reading last month and possibly the month before as well. But this seems like a graduation here. This is a meeting of minds. It's a meeting of emotional maturity, right? And you have leveled up with what you've done here. And it looks like you've leveled up to meet this king. I'm going to pull another couple of cards because I really like this. Like, the feeling on this reading is so different to Virgo. I've literally just done Virgos, and that was really hard. There's such a soft, gentle energy about this reading. I can't even tell you. It's like it's smiling because it's just lovely. Right. Tell me more about this Ace of Pentacles, please. I just can't even. I was just talking about him, and here he is. He's this King of Wands who was sailing all around your reading last month. Okay, well, I'm glad that he's still around. That's cool. 6 of Wands has just flipped there as well. That's the card of Leo. So this doesn't have to be a Sagittarius. This can be a fire sign, and it could be a man or a woman. Like, tarot doesn't care about gender. And it doesn't have to be the sun sign. You know, some people resonate more with the rising sign than they do with the sun. If this is an emotional connection, which it seems very much that it is, it's possible that actually it's the moon sign that is the fire. But the point is, this is someone who feels passion and creativity and great enthusiasm for life, for you, I feel, right now. It's someone who's genuinely exciting to be around. You know, everything feels like an adventure around this person. What about this Ace of Pentacles? Yeah, like we've got the Hanged Man, which is the card of Pisces, but it's come out in reverse. So the right way up, it talks about a period of waiting, possibly, which it now seems is over. Maybe one more card, please, for the Ace. Why? I said one. I said one. Okay. We've got the Lover's card. That's the card of Gemini, right there. And we've got Temperance, which is the card of Sagittarius. Looks like the game is on. This is very much all in your present energy. So if you don't have somebody, possibly Sagittarius, who's in your environment now, then this reading is probably not for you, because this is very much here right now. Oh, this is so lovely. I just can't even. Right. So what you've got coming up for you in February is the Knight of Cups, right? And the Knight of Cups is, well, all knights talk about movement, right? Movement forwards. And some knights are faster than others. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords are very, very fast. They're very impulsive. They're bordering on reckless sometimes. Your knight is the Knight of Pentacles, and that is uber slow, right? There's no other way of getting around it. It's just super, super slow. But he's very methodical and he gets the job done. The Knight of Cups sits between those two camps, right? Kind of second slowest, but not so fast as to be reckless. And what he's doing is he's I'm actually drawn to the fact that there are fish all over the back of there, and that makes me think of food, and that makes me think of Taurus, because like you love your food. Maybe you're going out for dinner, maybe. But here's this crow, and he's got his cup balanced on the white horse's head right there. and it's moving slowly towards you. You know, if you are not already seeing this person, but you know who it is, then I think it's quite possible that towards the end of February, you might be going out for dinner or something like that. The horse is white, right? And that indicates purity. That's purity of emotion, purity of spirit. And he's bringing this one Ace of Cups here towards you. Again, don't get hung up on the gender. Could be a woman. The two cards that you've got to clarify are interesting because we've got the Eight of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Now, the Eight of Cups talks about leaving behind things that don't fulfill you emotionally, right? Which seems rather at odds with what I've just said, but I feel like maybe the person that you're dealing with has had to walk away from a situation that they've been in. Like, I don't think that they're cheating or anything like that. That's not what I'm suggesting. But I'm going to get some more cards just to get some clarity. Eight of Cups. Where's the Eight of Cups here, please? No, that's like a million. What's the Eight of Cups here? Bottom of the deck we now have the Queen of Wands, another pairing, but what's come out is the Four of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Sun. Do you remember how I said the Sun was the most positive card in the deck and it was smiling down on your little endeavour right here? The Four of Wands talks about home, right? It's also my twin flame card, so it's possible that there's some big soulmate energy here. I kind of feel that pretty strongly anyway. The way that your energies are just meshing is just beautiful. So I think it's quite likely. But if it's not, and I do think it is, then this is talking about celebration, actually, is what it is. It's home. It's those people that feel like home to you. Sometimes the wedding's card, but let's not run before we can walk. But it's definitely celebration. And then we have the Ace of Swords, which is about truth. It's about honest communication. It's about integrity. It's about good open communication practices right here. And then we've got the Sun, which just smiles on everything. You know, everything is positive and everything is beautiful. Why are these here for the Eight of Cups? Maybe your person has had to leave something behind. Maybe your person got out of a relationship that was really, really difficult and they've actually been in a period of, you know, in that kind of Four of Swords energy where they've been trying to fix themselves after, you know, a difficult relationship. That's possible because this chap here, he's standing here and he's looking very naked and vulnerable at the back, right? There's this congregation and they're all together and doing the same thing. There's a sense of isolation from this, like he doesn't want to join in this thing. It's not for him. But in standing free of it, he's left himself feeling very exposed, very vulnerable. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's your person. Someone is recovering from something that's been very difficult. We've got the Queen of Cups again that's flipped, and the Seven of Cups. Yeah, I think this person, whether it's you or whether it's the person that you're dealing with, got out of something quite difficult. Yeah, and they've been fixing themselves. But if we just look at the image for a second and don't consider anything else, right? This person is presenting themselves to you. And now I'm saying it, I feel like this is more like what it is. This person is presenting themselves to you in pure vulnerability, like there's nothing hidden with this person. We've got the King and the Queen of Cups, are very open, they're very receptive, emotionally mature, all of these things, right? There's nothing hidden between them. And here is this chap, and there's nothing hidden there, nothing. He's standing there before you, completely naked, completely vulnerable. And maybe this is you, and maybe this is them. Maybe this is how you are presenting to each other. You know, absolute clear honesty, because then that would make sense. These, right? It's a celebration because it is a soulmate. Perfect honesty, perfect truth, perfectly open expression to each other. And then joy, pure joy. Oh, yes, I like that. That's absolutely what it is. And the last card that you have is the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles is about commitment, right? Person is coming towards you to offer not only their pure, naked, vulnerable self, but commitment too. Oh. I don't think there's anything else to say. I think that's it. We've got Scorpio here on the table. We've got Pisces. We've got Gemini, and we've got Sagittarius, and possibly Leo. Right there. Those are the main ones. So if your person is one of those, then all the good. If not, it doesn't matter. It's about the energies. And you've got the energies going on. I'm just going to leave it there because there's nothing else to say. Like, it's absolutely beautiful and couldn't have been more gentle. There's such a gentle energy coming off this reading. Even down to this absolute vulnerability. It's so gentle. I love it. Now, obviously, you know, what you choose to do with this is entirely up to you. For whatever reason you may decide to reject this offer, but I don't see it. You've done so much work on yourself internally. You know, you've called in your soulmate by doing this work, and then you're here now, and you're very carefully, very gently putting up your boundaries. You know, this is what I will accept, this is what I will not accept. You know, you do you, that's all cool. If we can kind of meet in the middle, then that's awesome. But I'm not going to throw myself entirely into you to, you know, to a toxic codependent level, and neither is this person going to do that with you. It's lovely. Right, so I am just going to leave it there, and if it resonated, I'd love it if you liked the video. Leave me a comment or something like that, and if you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you did. But I'll be back in a couple of weeks for the mid-months, so best of luck, although you don't need it. See you later, Taurus.